Hey, 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 Big Dave the Middle-Aged Gamer here with something new, actually. This is Morrowind, the OG 2002 release. And I remember putting tons of hours into this game back in the day. And to this day, it's still my favorite Elder Scrolls game. But this time, a lot of modernization taking place. Red mods. To make this look nicer, play nicer, be nicer. You can file this under the heading of things I'd love to see, or the next thing I'd love to see Bethesda remaster. So, let's get to it. We're just going to stick with that name for now. We're just going to change up a whole lot of stuff afterwards.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go.
If he looks even remotely familiar, if y'all played Skyrim, yes, that's the same Jib.
Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
Tutorial stuff, gotta love it. Speedrunners have shown that you can get around this guard. You move faster than he does. But this isn't a race. We're gonna talk to her first.
The sooner you leave, the sooner we can move on.
Oh, ain't she lovely?
Get yourself.
Yeah.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and it'll show you to the census office.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where.
I'm just going to leave this default for now. As I said, we're going to change all this stuff up after a bit. Just
Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
all right, into the office we go.
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
And we're going to answer his questions. It's basically the GOAT, but there's always been an Elder Scrolls version of it. It's just, you should recognize the questions.
On a clear day, you chance upon a strange animal, its leg trapped in a hunter's claw snare. Judging from the bleeding, it will not survive long. What do you do?
Do we draw our dagger, mercifully ending its life with a single thrust? Do not interfere with the natural evolution of events, but rather take the opportunity to learn more about a strange animal that you have never seen before. Or use herbs from your pack to put it to sleep. Whether it's new or not, you don't want the animal to suffer, and this is the most pleasant way to put him under.
One summer afternoon, your father gives you a choice of chores. What would you rather do?
Gather herbs for your mother, who is preparing dinner. Go catch fish at the stream using a net and line, or work in the forge with him while casting iron for a new plow. Well, here's the deal. Honestly, I think I'd probably rather go catch fish at the stream. Me personally, I tend to have more of a black thumb. And at my body shape, the last thing you want my bounteous amounts of flesh anywhere near is something that can instantly sear it. And no, I don't mean cooking. So let's go catch some fish.
Your cousin has given you a very embarrassing nickname, and even worse, likes to call you it in front of your friends. You have asked him to stop, but he finds it very amusing to watch you blush. What do you do?
Make up an even more embarrassing nickname for him and use it constantly until he learns his lesson. Make up a story that makes your nickname a badge of honor instead of something humiliating. Beat up your cousin, then tell him that if he ever calls you that nickname again, you will bloody him worse than this time. Make up an even more embarrassing nickname. I can chirp.
There is a lot of heated discussion at the local tavern over a group of people called telepaths. They've been hired by certain city-state kings. Rumor has it these telepaths read a person's mind and tell their lord whether a follower is telling the truth or not. You believe what?
Loyal followers to the king have nothing to fear from a telepath. It is important to have a method of finding assassins and spies before it is too late. That's not authoritarian at all. In these times, it is a necessary evil. Although you do not necessarily like the idea, a telepath could have certain advantages during a time of war or in finding someone innocent of a crime. This is a terrible practice. A person's thoughts are his own, and no one, not even a king, has the right to make such an invasion into another human's mind. I think I would file this under as a necessary evil.
Your mother sends you to the market with a list of goods to buy. After you finish, you find that by mistake a shopkeeper has given you too much money back in exchange for one of the items. What do you do?
Decide to put the extra money to good use and purchase items that would help your family. Pocket the extra money, knowing the shopkeepers in general tend to overcharge customers anyway. Return to the store and give the shopkeeper his hard-earned money, explaining to him the mistake. I've actually done this before.
While in a marketplace, you witness a thief cut a purse from a noble. Even as he does so, the noble notices and calls for the city guards. In his haste to get away, the thief drops the purse near you. Surprisingly, no one seems to notice the bag of coins at your feet. What do you do?
Pick up the bag and pocket it, knowing that the extra windfall will help your family in times of trouble. Leave the bag there, knowing it's better not to get involved. Pick up the bag and signal to the guard, knowing that the only honorable thing is to return the money to its rightful owner. Obviously, because if you leave it there, someone else is going to pick it up. And not the noble. Or the victim, or whoever it is.
Your father sends you on a task which you loathe, cleaning the stables. On the way there, pitchfork in hand, you run into your friend from the homestead near your own. He offers to do it for you, in return for a future favor of his choosing. What do you do?
Ask him to help you, knowing that two people can do the job faster than one, and agree to help him with one task of his choosing in the future. Accept his offer, reasoning that as long as the stables are clean, it doesn't matter who does the cleaning. Decline his offer, knowing that your father expects you to do the work and is better not to be in debt. Ask him to help you. I mean, it's a compromise, right?
Your mother asks you to help fix the stove. While you're working, a very hot pipe slips its moorings and falls towards her. What do you do?
Grab the hot pipe and try to push it away. Position yourself between the pipe and your mother. Or push your mother out of the way. I'd be the one who'd sit there and go, yeah, I can take it.
While in town, the baker gives you a sweet roll. Delighted, you take it into an alley to enjoy, only to be intercepted by a gang of 3 other kids your age. The leader demands the sweet roll, or else he and his friends will beat you and take it. What do you do?
Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll. Yeah, you knew that was coming. Act like you're going to give them the sweet roll, but at the last minute throw it in the air, hoping that they'll pay attention to it long enough for you to get a shot in on the leader. Drop the sweet roll and step on it and get ready for the fight. Give him the sweet roll now without argument, knowing that later this afternoon you'll have all your friends with you who can come and take whatever he owes you. Fight smarter, not harder.
Entering town, you find that you are witness to a very well-dressed man running from a crowd. He screams to you for help. The crowd behind him seems very angry. What do you do?
Rush to the man's aid immediately, despite your lack of knowledge of the circumstances. Rush to the town's aid immediately, despite your lack of knowledge of the circumstances. Stand aside, allow the man and mob to pass, realizing it's probably not best not to get involved. Rush to the man's aid immediately. because at this point, you could probably find out what's going on a lot more easily than rushing to the town's aid immediately. Your personality and past reflect the warrior. Okay. I'm a warrior.
Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
Trollkin. Okay, let's just go through them. Start with the apprentice. Abilities: Elfborn, fortify maximum magicka, 1.5 times intelligence, with weakness to magicka 50%. Ugh. After Doc. Abilities: Woundburn, spell absorption 50 points, fortify maximum magicka twice your intelligence, with stunted magicka. That's never changed. The Lady. Abilities: Lady's Favor, fortify personality 25 points, Lady's Grace, fortify endurance 25 points. That could be useful. The Lord. Abilities: Trollkin, weakness to fire 100%. Ugh. Considering you're on a volcanic island, that's horrible. Spells: Blood of the North, restore health 2 points for 30 seconds on stealth. On self. No. The Lover. Abilities: Mooncalf, fortify agility 25 points. Powers: Lover's Kiss. Paralyzed for 60 seconds on target. Damage fatigue 200 points on self. That is a hell of a panic button, but for a warrior, maybe not. The Mage. Abilities: Fey, fortify maximum magicka 0.5 times intelligence. Nah. The Ritual. Spells: Blessed Ward, turn undead 100 points for 30 seconds on target. Blessed Touch, turn undead 100 points for 30 seconds on... Well, sorry. 100 points for 30 seconds on target. 100 points for 30 seconds on touch. That's... wow. And Mara's Gift, restore health 100 points on salt. Damn! Damn! Not bad. The Serpent. Spells: Star Curse, poison 3 points for 30 seconds on touch. Damage health 1 point for 30 seconds on self. No. The Shadow. Powers: Moonshadow, invisibility for 60 seconds on self. The Steed. Abilities: Charioteer, fortifies speed 25 points. The Thief. Abilities: Akaviri, Danger Sense, Sanctuary 10 points. The Tower. Spells: Beggar's Nose, detect animal 200 feet for 60 seconds on self. Detect enchantment 200 feet for 60 seconds on self. Detect key 200 feet for 60 seconds on self. Powers: Tower Key, open 50 points on touch. And finally, the Warrior. War Weird, fortify attack 10 points. Which means you actually attack faster. That's what that means. So, we're looking at the Warrior, fortify attack 10 points. The Lady, fortify personality 25 points, but the big one, fortify endurance 25 points. And the Ritual, the Turn Undead, I don't really care about, but Mara's Gift is one hell of a gift indeed. Restore health, a nice 100 point restore health, but since it's a power, you only use it once a day. That's the major downside. So I think I'd be more inclined to turn that down. So we're basically looking at faster attack, or we're looking at... No, not the Lord. Better endurance to go with the personality. If I was playing a paladin, that would be useful. Well, so would the other one. I think we're going to go with the Warrior, because I'm playing a Warrior. I mean, come on.
Interesting. Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct.
Now, remember I said we were going to get back to it later? Now we're going to get back to it. Let's look at the different races. We'll start at the top. That would be Argonian. Specials of resist disease, immune to poison, water breathing. Actually, we're going to... Okay. Just filling that in for now. Okay, we're going to look at... Alright, so we have all of the combat skills. except for marksman. Okay. So, of the 10 possible skills, we have 9 combat and 1 stealth. Not even a brawler, are we? Yep. Oh, no, that's unarmored. Yeah, see? Hand to hand. So, we want to basically look and see how many, whatever racial bonuses we get, as many of the different combat bonuses we get. So, let's go back to race. Alright, so we just want to count as, see how many of them are combat based. There's 2, 3, out for a total of 15, 20, 25 points. With specials of resist disease, immune to poison, and water breathing. That could be interesting. We have Bretons. Not a damn thing. Spells and magical specials and magical bonus. Resist Magicka and Dragon Skin. The Resist Magicka is nice. Back to our default Dark Elf. Specials of Ancestor Guardians gives you a 50-point Sanctuary for 60 seconds as a power, and a 75-point Resist Fire, which is nice. See, we got 5 points there. Another 5 is 10. Okay, we do have Marksman, so that's 15. So only 15 points. So Argonian's still better because we get 25 total bonus points there. High Elf. That's always going to be a no because of all these weaknesses here. Weaknesses to Magicka, Fire, Frost, and Shock. 25% of 25% on Frost and Shock, 50% on Fire, and Magicka to go with 1.5 times Magicka bonus and a 75% resist disease. Whoopee. But all their bonuses are in magic base. So no. Imperials. That's 5. That's 10. That's 15. So that's only 15 points again. Bonuses in Star of the West, which absorbs fatigue 200 points on target. Oh, honestly, that's kind of nice for a warrior. And Voice of the Emperor, charm 25 to 50 points for 15 seconds on a target. Not bad, not great. Alright, let's look at Khajiit. Eye of Night, Night Eye, and Eye of Fear. Demoralize Humanoid 100 points for 30 seconds on target. That's to send them running the other way. And what do we got? Athletics for 5. And that's it. So, not really. Nords. So, we got 10, 20, 25, 30, 40. They are all warrior-based, combat-based, which is nice. 45-point total. With a complete immunity to Frost, which unfortunately here does not really amount to all that much. Mages, Frost, Atronachs. That's about it. I think there's like 1 or 2 maybe other things that may have some Frost, but it's not nearly as common as Fire, if I remember right. 50-point shock resistance, which is also nice, and you get the powers of Woad, which gives you a 30-point shield for 60 seconds once a day, and Thunder Fist, which is a 25-point Frost Touch attack. Okay, not bad. Let's look at Orcs. So we got 10, 20, 30, 45, so all of them, again, just like the Nords. And we got specials of Resist Magicka for 25%, which is nice, and Berserk. Fortifies health for 20 points, fatigue for 200, attack for 100, which means you attack really damn fast. All for 60 seconds, and then for that same 60 seconds, your agility becomes, it becomes shit. Sure, you attack really fast, but you're probably going to miss a lot, which is a problem. Now we're looking at Red Guards. Got 5 in Athletic, 5, 10, 15, 20, 35, 40. Only 40 points because Warrior class doesn't deal with short blades. You got 75-point resist disease, 75% poison resistance. But here's the killer. Adrenaline Rush. For 60 seconds, you get 50-point bonuses to agility, strength, speed, and endurance, and a 25-point health boost. That is obscenely powerful. And then you got Wood Elves. It's got nothing for us here except the 15-point marksman boost. So not really the most useful thing for us. Bonuses of resist disease, 75%, and beast tongue, which commands creatures 5 levels for 600 seconds on a target. So, while Red Guards have a 40-point skill boost as opposed to 45 for Nords and Orcs, that Adrenaline Rush is just gold. I like Orcs all the way down to Berserk, and that Agility drop. That is just brutal. Nords, yeah, while Woad and Thunderfist are nowhere near as good as Adrenaline Rush, the immunities that you get, honestly, I could probably be persuaded to play a Red Guard for one simple reason. There's a fair amount of poison and a lot of disease in this game. So that's actually kind of really useful. I'm talking myself into this, aren't I? That's fine. Alright, so now let's see if we can find anything we like. It kind of looks like Cliff's dad from The Cosby Show. I do like it, though. I think we're going to stick with that. But we're obviously going to change the name. We're not going to be whatever the heck that was. Now we got to come up with something. If you remember your ESO lore, one of the great Red Guard heroes was Devad Hunding, which is basically David spelled backwards. So, since I'm Big Dave, we're just going to roll with this. And that is going to be our character. Big David Hunding, the Red Guard warrior. I now have a stats menu where you can always view your information. Right-clicking allows you to use your menus. When you are done with them, right-click again to close them.
Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Read your papers by pressing the spacebar while looking at them, then select Take to pick them up. For release by Emperor Uriel Septim VII's decree to the district of Vardenfell in the province of Morrowind. Name Big David Hunding. Race Red Guard. Class Warrior. Sign Socosius Argala, agent to the Seda Neen near Imperial Census and Excise, 16th of last seed, 3E4, 27. You now have an inventory menu where you can see what you are carrying. Like all menus, right-click to use your new menu. You can click and move objects from the world to your inventory. Alright, and this is what we got. Not much. And here's our skills. So as you can see, we got 50 point skill in long blade, 40 in medium heavy armor and athletics, 35 in block. The only one that's really taken any dump whatsoever is marksman at 15. That's just basic as a minor. And with the exception of short blade, everything here is at a 5 under miscellaneous skills. And you look at our stats here. We got a 60 in strength, and a 60 in endurance. We hit like a ton of bricks, and we can take it too. A 40 in luck, and agility and speed. Everything else is a 30, which would be intelligence, willpower, and speed, personality. Why did I just say that, Lee? Alright, and now, if you see anything with a red hand, that means, yeah, that's thievery.
Continue through to the next building and talk to Celisgravius.
Alright, so you should learn how to do combat. Pick up the dagger on the table by activating it with spacebar. Equip the dagger by dropping it on your picture in your inventory menu. Press F to pull out your weapon. Once your weapon is ready, hold and release the left mouse button to swing it. The harder you swing it, the more damage it does, but the more fatigue you will drain. Alright? So we pull it out, and see? Small, quick attacks. There's your power attack. Now, did you notice I thrusted there instead of slashed, right? In Morrowind, attacks are different. If you remember the Skyrim weapon perks, when it said you would have to hold your different direction and do a power attack, and you would get different abilities, this is where that comes from. Okay, typical slash, thrust, and that's technically a slash. That's a chop in this game. Okay, chop. All right, chop. Damn it. Thrust. Slash. Okay? Now, if I remember right, there was... Okay. You can change that if to make your life easier. Always use best attack. Every weapon is going to have 3 different kinds of damage. Okay, we're going to turn on the subtitles too while we're here. Alright? Check this out. We highlight the dagger. It's gonna show that it's got chop damage, slash damage, and thrust damage. Okay? Now for those who don't like doing the different keyboard or direction controls, and a lot of people didn't, they would turn on what I just did. Alright? So now that I have always used best attack, it's just thrusting immediately, because thrusting has that slightly higher damage floor. Riskar! Don't think I've forgotten our wager. I want this dagger sharp as a scam's claw by morning. God seal. Letters, books, and scrolls can be read by equipping them in your inventory menu. Why don't we do that real quick so you can see what I'm talking about? See? Everything else here is a steal. And that's not how we're playing. Although we will grab that lockpick. Equip lockpicks in the inventory menu. Try picking the lock of the small chest on the shelf. Alright. So. We're going to equip the lockpick like a weapon. Now, it's not like in Skyrim where the lockpicks break. So you can literally just sit there and keep going. And inside is 31 gold. We'll take that. Since there's nobody here to witness us, it's basically free freebies. And our alchemy is so bad that we can't that we don't know anything about what's in a masty. Or a large Kwama egg. Alright, all of this are stealables. And since we're not playing that kind of character, this makes no sense for us to do. Let's continue on. You now have a map menu, which shows you the name of the place you are in and the direction you are facing. Well, you can switch between world map and local map. Here's the local map. That's the ship the boat we came off of. Alright, back to the world. Any place where you're discovered, you will see a square indicating where you are at. And here is the layout of the entire map that we're going to be playing on. Vardenfell Island with Solstheim. And for those who have never played Morrowind but wonder why Solstheim sounds familiar, yes, it is the very same Solstheim in the Dragonborn DLC. In the barrel is a whole bunch of goodies that we can grab, and we will grab them, including this engraved ring of healing. Doesn't really do all that much, but every little bit helps, right? You now have a magic menu where you can see all your powers, spells, and magic items. Like all menus, right-click to use your new menu, click on the spell or magic item you want to make your active magic. Press R to ready your active magic, then click to cast. Okay. All we have are Adrenaline Rush and the engraved ring of healing. Okay, that equips the ring. Then you hit R to bring out your hands, and there you go. It's not like in Oblivion where you just hit C to do your casting. It's more like Skyrim in that regard. But it's better than Skyrim, in which you can have a spell and a weapon queued up at the same time and just switch between the two. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, let's get in. Wrong button. Press spacebar to talk to the captain. Select topics to ask about them. Don't try persuasion on him. If you're not good at it, he will start to dislike you. This is Solus Gravius. First, let me take your identification papers. Thank you. Word of your arrival only reached me yesterday. I am Solus Gravius, but my background is not important. I am here to welcome you to Morrowind. First, we'll click on background. I am Solus Gravius, Knight-Errant of the Imperial Legion. And then we click on Morrowind. Yes, you're in Morrowind. I don't know why you're here, or why you were released from prison and shipped here, but your authorization comes directly from your Emperor Uriel Septim VII himself, and I don't need to know any more than that. When you leave this office, you are free, but before you go, I have instructions on your duties, instructions from the Emperor, so pay careful attention. Yes, Uriel Septim is still the Emperor. According to my instructions, he personally authorized your release from the prison and your delivery here. It's all very mysterious, but that's why the Empire. But that's the way the Empire works. Silence, secrecy. Let not the left hand know what the right hand is doing. Check the Empire. Yes, of course, this is the Empire. This is Vardenfell district of the province of Morrowind, and Morrowind has been part of the Empire for over 400 years. The current Emperor is Uriel Septim, 24th of the Septim line. You haven't been in prison that long, have you? Nothing wrong with your head, is there? The men said you were acting a little strange when they brought you in from the ship. Okay. So all that's left is our duties. Duties. This package came with the news of your arrival. You are to take it to Caius Casades in the town of Balmora. Go to the South Wall Corner Club and ask for Caius Casades. They'll know where to find him. Serve him as you would serve the Emperor himself. I also have a letter for you and a dispersal for your name. To your name. Your journal has been updated. Directions to Caius Casades has been added to your directory. Package for Caius Casades has been added to your inventory. 87 gold has been added to your inventory. Alright, let's talk about Caius Casades. Report to Caius Casades in Balmora. I can't tell you where to find him, but you are to go to the South Wall Corner Club and ask for him. Someone there can direct you to him. Balmora is north of Sedanine. The road passes Pelagiad Village and Fort Pelagiad, crosses a deep ravine, passes Fort Moonmoth, and then turns west across the Odai River and into Balmora. The South Wall Corner Club is in southeast Balmora on the east side of the river. For more detailed directions, talk to Alone at the Scout at Aril's Trade House here in Sedanine. Excuse me. But take my advice. You're new here. Take the Silt Strider to Balmora. Fast, cheap, safe. Cross the bridge and head east. Can't miss it. Alright, and we got one more new topic, and that would be, well, actually two new topics. I am a Knight-Errant of the Order of Ebonheart and an Imperial emissary attached to the Census and Excise office here in Sedanine. I'm proud to be an Imperial, through our legions and rule of law, we've brought peace and civilization to the provinces of Tamriel. Oh, excuse me. Throat's dry from all this talking. There's a lot of talking in this one. And finally, we have one last thing. The Silt Strider. Silt Striders carry passengers and cargo between settlements on Vardenfell. Fares depend on distance to be traveled. Silt striders are giant insects. A compartment for passengers and cargo is hollowed from this creature's shell. The driver directs the beast by directly manipulating exposed organs and tissues. Silt striders travel between Aldrun, Balmora, Sedanine, Suren, Nisus, Molag Margon, and North Landing near Vivek. And that's everything he can tell us. It's a lot of information. Alright, let's get out of here. Press J to use your journal and review what you've been told. You should probably check out Ariel's trade house up on the left. You're on your own now. Good luck. So, with the conversations, you can unlock certain spots. Like there's Pelagiad Village, there's Fort Moonmoth, and Balmora. That is what we have been shown. And if we pop up the journal... My orders are to go to the Tarn of Balmoran, Vardenfell District, and report to a man named Caius Cosades. To find out where he lives, I should ask in Balmora at this corner club called South Wall. When I find Caius Cosades, I must give him a package of documents and wait for further orders. If we sort to quests, you can see what you have available. Alright, and I think that's going to be enough for now. Next episode, we're going to poke around Sedanine, if you guys would have it. Talk to people, learn the lay of the land, and figure things out a little more. And marvel at the way people walk in this game. What the hell is that? It's a pack rat. Awesome. Alright, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get the latest and greatest videos as they come in and to help this channel grow. This has been Big Dave, the Middle-Aged Gamer. This is Morrowind. I'll see you all next time.